Hi everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about one of the things that is always on my mind, and I'm sure it's always on any CISO's mind, the need and the importance of including a security team in any IT project or in any organizational project. Personally, and I'm sure many of you also have this view, the involvement that security should start from the start. I mean, they should be involved right at the planning stage, even before you reach out to vendors, even if before you create an RFP, or even before you sit and talk about the requirements that the organization has. The security team has to be present from that stage onward, mainly because um, the responsibilities of security is not just with securing things. So not just making sure, hey, are you using a password long enough? Are you using a certificate, or are you using MFA? It's not just limited to that. It starts from the beginning, the planning stage, to make sure that, first of all, if you're doing an RFP, if you're reaching out to vendors, you're asking the right questions. At least you're asking the right security related questions. You are making sure that your requirements are well thought, and you are also then in other stages making sure that the vendor is compliant with certain standards, answering questions, security related questions that you might have. You ask them architectural questions, security of that architecture. And one of the main reasons or main involvements that I see of security teams with any project, two things. One is the architecture security of how things are going to work, because it's obviously some other tool that is working with your users, your servers, your network, your IAM structure. So it's always something working with your existing tool. So how best to integrate that? How does your data flow work? How does your user provisioning work, etc., etc.? So two things. One is the architecture security, very, very, very important. And then comes the next one is identity and access management. These two things, I believe, are very, very important for a security team. And these things, what happens with these things is, what you don't change them as you go along. Once you plan them, you design them, you think of how it's supposed to look. Once you implement that, you don't touch it unless there's something drastic to be changed. So things like your network, things like your architecture of integration, platform integration, data process flow, etc., etc. Once you have that, you don't change it. Your IAM, how are users being provisioned? How is the platform going to talk to, let's say, for example, Active Directory or Entra ID or Okta or anything? How are they going to talk to each other? How are users going to be provisioned? How are users going to be managed? The security of the protection, user ID protection. What's the access going to be? Like, what's the level of access that person's going to get? People are going to get. So then you talk about roles. So all these things have to be talked about and implemented right at the start, and probably never to be touched again. So security plays a big role in these two domains as well as the whole project. So make sure whenever you have any IT project, involve the security team, any representative, and or the leader, to delegate it to someone, to ask the right questions, to be involved in from the start, and to make sure that your project not just runs smoothly, probably does not cut corners, but at the same time is cost efficient. You don't incur technical debt. That's the big one for me, to be honest. Don't incur technical debt, and at the same time, deliver the project smoothly, on time, within budget, and to everyone's satisfaction, securely, and to everyone's satisfaction. And you don't have to revisit that topic for the things that the security team were involved in. So think about it. If you are a CISO or if you are in any other team, make sure you reach out to your security team to have them involved in any of your projects, especially if you are going to start them. All right. Let me know your comments and your feedback, your experiences with such kind of projects where security team is involved or not involved, and what happened after that. Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Stay safe.